Hey guys, welcome to the Mortgage Celebrity Studio. Kyle Stolte here. I'm here with John Houston of the Choice Realty Group. John, welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. So first and foremost, I like to ask everybody who comes in here, how did you get started in real estate?
Before real estate, I was a full-time mechanic. Traveled the country, fixed large machines, and then did some investing on the side with my wife selling the investments to us.
Okay.
And then traveling got a little monotonous and started pulling some strings with relationships. So decided to make the switch full-time to real estate. So.
Okay. And did you start right away by selling houses, or were you investing in houses first, or both at the same time?
When I was part-time, it was just investing, so I was just the money man and go in and reno and do that
You did the
stuff.
reno yourself?
Well, the demo part of it, and then we
Okay.
would pay contractors to do the renos. But then it switched into when I got licensed, she needed help with like being a showing assistant or like doing her appointments and the stuff that
You're,
isn't
you're the
isn't
assistant to your
fun. Yeah, I
wife.
was an assistant to my wife basically. So, yeah.
No shame in that.
Yeah.
No shame in that. And do you remember your first sale? Or
First sale was actually a referral of a ex-coworker of mine. So my first career I was in was at a local shop called Family Auto and Effort, and his son was a real estate agent,
Mhm.
and he was selling a house for the guy that got me into the business of working on cars, good buddy of mine. And in that time frame of selling and buying, Timmy Audette was his name. He moved to Georgia, so he needed somebody to fill in
Hmm.
to get Marshall into a house. So I jumped in as showing him houses and taking him on as a client and got him into something. And yeah, it's kind of like a full circle
Did
moment.
do you
So
think that did they know that was your first sale? Did,
yeah, they
yeah.
both did. Yeah.
So they were
So
cool. You weren't like
yeah.
too nervous or anything when
No,
you
I
were
mean,
doing it?
they knew I had like the team backing me on like
Oh,
helping out with the
true.
transaction, so it was kind of an easy process.
Yeah.
They trust me a lot just because of they've known me for 20 something years, but it was just a different career path. So they trusted me in the car side. Now they trusting me in this. So they knew I had a team behind me to help out. So
Gotcha.
yep.
Is there ever has there ever been a time when because our job is to help people get a mortgage or to help people buy a house.
Hmm.
Has there ever been a time when you talk somebody out of that you could think of?
Talking out of
Talk
buying.
them out of buying or selling. Like maybe now is not the right
Um,
time.
I would say, not thinking off the top of my head, probably.
I
I
mean, in the
tell
last
people
few,
to like hold on to properties if they already have them and they don't need to sell.
gotcha.
I don't think I've ever talked anybody out of completely not buying. Hey,
Hmm.
might not be the right time. Maybe let's wait a little while till either credit's better or you have
Yeah.
more saved or something like that. But never like, hey, no, don't buy. It's bad market, don't buy, I would say.
Yeah.
It's more
Yeah.
of like holding on to a property, which I kicked myself in the butt for selling our first house, but that's I guess I wouldn't be here where I'm at if I didn't do that move. So,
Why do you kick yourself in the butt for
because it
that?
would have been another rental for me to make money off of. It was a low mortgage, but at the time we didn't have enough to buy the
The next
current house
one.
we're in. So,
Gotcha.
yeah.
So when did you buy your first investment property?
Um, let's see, it's 2026, so probably at least 8, 9 years ago.
Wow.
So,
And you've gotten considerable more since then?
yep. So our first one we bought in Freemansburg. We helped out a family member. He's our tenant, so he needed a place to live. So we are like, all right, well, it makes sense. Let's buy a house, renovate it a little bit or whatever, and get him in there, and at least it cash flows a little bit. Not like we're making a killing off of it, but at least it's something.
Yeah.
So that kind of got our feet wet with it. And then the same family member had a death in their family. So they wanted us to list their well, they wanted Kelly to list the house.
Yeah.
And we just ended up buying it, fully renovating it, and then keeping it as a rental. So we just used the funds from the first one, bought the second one, and
Okay.
snowballed. So,
So, do you do a lot like a line of credit and then use the line of credit
yep,
to buy
lines
the
of
next
credit,
one and
cash
then
out, and buy the next
keep
one.
going?
Use some personal savings, and then replenish it, and so on and so forth.
Real estate investing is something that like you hear about all the time, and like
Mhm.
it's just like this almost like get rich quick scheme, and
It's
like
not,
I
but
know,
yeah,
I mean, people think it is,
yep,
but being like the fact that you did your own demo is good. A
yep,
lot of people, when they first get started, they wouldn't even know where to start
yep,
with something like that. But if you were giving advice to somebody, let's say you had $50,000 today,
yep.
and you had no portfolio, nothing. What's the first move that you're making?
Look for a fixer upper, something that's going to be you need to put some time into and elbow grease into, and look for the deals. Our first one, our first house we bought as a short sale, so it was very low. Basically, no money down is what we needed to buy it, and we fully renovated it, and then we ended up selling it. But the second one was kind of the same scenario. We used some of the funds, bought it, put some money into it, and kept snowballing. So I would say look for the deals. I mean, they're hard to come by now. You're like the deals 10 years ago aren't what you're getting as a deal today. Like you could buy a decent house for 100 grand 10
Yeah.
years ago, put 50 into it, and then have 200 in value, I would say. Now you're spending 250 to get something that's pretty rough shape. You're gonna have to put 50, 60 into it to get it livable again. But
And do you use the same contractor on every?
so we have a bunch of different contractors that we used over the years, but we try to stick to one for like the bigger jobs. We have ones for painting or ones for landscaping and
Mm.
whatnot. So the portfolio has grown over the years. So, but yeah, I'd like it better with one because it makes it easier. They know what we want and
You
kind
always
of,
call the same guy.
yeah. I mean, with depending on the area you're buying, like some aren't licensed in that certain area, so you have to branch out and find different ones. So can make it difficult, but for the
Mm.
most part, it's normally the same contractor, I would say.
So your wife and you run a very successful real estate team together.
Yep.
I used you guys to buy my
Yep.
house, and that's how I got to know you guys. But you guys have to kind of separate your business. It sounds like there's your half, and there's
Yep.
her half. What do you do different than what she does? How are you, you know, I guess presenting your business differently than her? Because your clients are separate, right?
Yeah, so all our clients are normally separate. A lot of my clients that I take on are people I know from the past careers or friends and family. I've
Mostly
had
referrals.
lot of success through that. Like last year, for instance, 14 of my 18 transactions were referrals or friends and family. So repeat clients or
Wow.
so it's just staying top of mind, like not being a pain in the butt to them, but still like, hey, John sells houses. If I want to buy something or sell, I'm there when they need me. So
Yeah.
that's basically all it is. So
Okay.
her side is more like I don't even know where to start to be honest, but she's
She's pretty involved.
yeah, she's very involved. She's very in charge, take charge kind of person. She covers like all the trainings, all the designs, all the everything that goes into it.
Mm.
And then she still sells like 50 houses a year, so it's crazy. I don't know how she does it, but she does.
Yeah, I
She's
mean the managing the time thing,
yeah,
and I
yep,
always tell, real estate agents that every one transaction for you guys is like four for us,
yep,
and so like me juggling, anywhere from 12 to 15 clients a
yep.
month, that's me sitting behind a desk. You have to
Go
with
out
the
and show the
yeah,
houses. Yep.
exactly. And how
So
many, I mean, do you know what is there a client in your mind that you think of right away when you're like, I've showed them 100 houses and like they just never did, or maybe they did finally pull the trigger?
I have one that I've been talking to since I got licensed basically. I won't say his name, but he basically
Call him out. No, I'm just kidding.
he was a lead that basically called in on one of Kelly's listings,
Hmm.
and she didn't want to do the showing, so here you go. So I went and met him, and it's been 4 years of like consistent follow up, going out, showing him houses, getting him re-updated with his pre-approvals and
Yep.
all that stuff. And I mean, will he eventually buy something? I mean, he's not homeless, so it's like an investment property that he's looking at. So
Gotcha.
trying to find that right deal for him is just a long-term process, I guess. So, but
That's interesting. Because I mean, there's clients when, they come to us and
yep,
either they have credit troubles
yep,
or again, they're one of those type of people that just can't pull the trigger because they think there's a better opportunity down the
yep.
road or whatever.
Or
But
waiting for rates
sometimes,
to go
yeah,
down,
oh,
which yeah,
if I had a nickel for every time I heard that, oh, the rates are going to go down, the
yep,
rates are going to go down. But sometimes those are the most rewarding ones because like once you eventually get to the
yep,
finish line, they're like so thankful
yep,
that you spent all that time with them. It's sometimes it's the clients that you don't expect that really like bring you the present
yeah,
at closing,
yep,
and they say thank you.
yep,
I just got a gift card the other day from someone that I was like, I can't accept this, you know what
yeah,
I mean? But it
yep.
was just like,
The thought that counts is cool.
yeah,
So yeah, for
so
sure.
cool. So cool. So you started a while back, been in the business a little while. Um, what did success mean to you then? Like, what did you think it meant, and what does it mean to you now?
Mm, success when I started was being you're technically unemployed if you don't have anything closing. I was just get a closing, so I have some kind of funds.
Hmm.
Now it's the most rewarding thing for me is seeing all the agents on the team succeed, to be honest. So, um, like there's 16 of us now, 17 of us.
Wow.
But yeah, seeing that everybody else succeed is my like goal or factor. My long-term goal is seeing everybody else succeed more. So, like being a team owner or whatever, like yeah, we get cuts from everybody else, but like I still have to produce so I have my income. But seeing everybody else succeed is like the long-term goal or the end game, I would say. Like having enough agents to not have to produce
Yeah.
would be the ultimate goal, I would
Yeah.
think. So,
I mean, it's essentially running your own business. I mean, that's
yeah.
where you want to
Yep.
take a step back and
Yep.
then teach people what you know
Yep.
and how to be better.
Yeah, so
How do you go about, do you like take them literally under your wing? Do you guys hold a lot of trainings? Do you, are we guys in the office all the time? Like, how's that team dynamic work?
so we do a bunch of trainings. So there's like an onboarding process where we use um, basically like an online program. They
Mm,
watch videos, they write scripts, do all the stuff you need to do to get lead gen done. But then there's like mentor programs. So either like the veteran agents will take them on showing, show them how to open a lockbox, show them to how to set an appointment on showing time.
mm,
Like there's just a kind of a mentorship for the new agents. Also, like we do weekly trainings. So we take like a topic that we've learned or we got a tip from a mortgage company or whatever, and then we try to do a training based on that each week, which I just came from actually.
and
So
it keeps them updated as to what's
updated,
going
yep. I
on.
mean, it's you're in the business, so you know like everything's always changing,
Yeah.
rules and procedures or whatever. So trying to stay top of those topics helps our agents out in the long run. So,
Yeah, it's funny because we sit there, we both have to take continuing education every year.
yep.
And how much do you actually learn from continuing education versus like being out there? You know what I mean? So
I
like the topics that you bring to your team they're probably learning a lot more than when they sit at least from the mortgage side of things, like
yeah.
we're learning the same thing again,
Yep.
maybe just some new updates, but
You're getting more. I feel like I'm more of a hands-on person coming from the trades, so I feel like you always learn more if you're actually doing something than
mm,
just reading a book and then taking a test. Like how
yeah.
much you actually processing or
Yeah.
taking in. So the hands-on training, I definitely feel like the agents can take on. And like We do a morning accountability call also. So it's like we're holding all the agents to what they set their goals are. So that's
Does that
kind
happen
of
every morning?
every morning, 8:45. We're
8:45.
on Zoom.
What does that call look like?
Basically, we go through our numbers, our contact numbers, what are um, how many calls we went through, contacts, appointments set, appointments met, on the buying and selling side. And then if there's any topic that they need questions answered, or hey, there's a problem with my lofty, then we'll try to fix that problem on the call, just so everybody
Hears
knows.
it.
Yep. So if it's like too in depth, then we get off, but normally lasts about 15 minutes. And then we were doing like a power hour, it was called, where after the 8:45 like accountability call, we would sit on Zoom with our cameras on but muted, and then lead gen. So it kind of holds everybody else accountable.
So one person would be call. Oh, all of you are
Everybody,
calling.
yep. So the group of
Ah,
us would be sitting on our Zoom, like in front of our computer,
that's a
lead
great
gen.
idea.
Yeah. So
I love that.
yep.
I was recently watching something. I'm a Ravens fan, so like I was watching a video on the new offensive coordinator, and he was basically talking about the standard and holding people to a certain standard, and that's what that sounds like to me. It's like, you can't just show up on the team and not produce or not pull your
Yep.
own weight. There's a minimum, the things that take zero talent, which is like showing up on time,
Yep.
making your phone call, showing up to listing appointments
Yep.
on time, sending the follow-up email,
Yep.
those little things. It sounds like you and Kelly do a good job at like implementing the standard, but you kind of have to lead by example too.
Yeah, you do have to lead by example, but the systems that Kelly put in place definitely make it easier. Because a lot of like the fires you might have to put out during the day, like we have a transaction coordinator, we have a listing coordinator, like a lot of that stuff they can handle.
Yeah.
Like, but 3 days before closing, if there's an issue or whatever, waiting for a clear to close, like like you're in that side. So
Yeah.
like
We're getting
a
you
lot
on
of
that.
it, yeah, a lot of it like can wait or it's gonna plane itself out. So we have those people in place to try and fix that issue for us and continue us on.
And then you guys can still focus on what you were focused
Yeah,
on.
just focus on the lead gen, the follow up, and doing the appointments. So
Do you have a memory of your worst deal ever, and what did it teach you?
I don't think I have a worst.
Well, that's good.
I mean, I've been pretty lucky, like knock
Yeah.
on wood. One that was maybe a pain in the butt. Probably the low income, like low price range houses are always more of a headache than the higher end.
I found that to be true
Just
too.
because people don't have funds saved, or we're asking for seller's assist, we're asking for stuff to get repaired. Those,
Property condition usually.
yeah, so those are normally the ones that are more of a headache.
Yeah.
But then you get into the higher price range where like they want everything a certain way,
Yep.
or they're asking for a shopping list of repairs at the reply to inspections. So
Yeah. I'm not buying a $750,000 house with these repairs.
exactly,
Yeah.
yep. So it's
Yeah.
kind of hit or miss, but the first time home buyer is probably the most, not difficult, but the most you have to educate somebody
Yeah.
because they've never bought a house before, so it's all brand new. So I feel like you're teaching more than you're working per se. I mean, you're still working, but
Yeah.
it's more of a teaching process to get them through and kind of show them like, hey, it's not really that scary and bad as it seems. Like,
Yeah.
these are the steps you need to do. This is what needs to get done, blah, blah, blah. So,
I tell people all the time that those first time home buyers, it is so important for them to have a good
Yeah.
agent and
Yeah.
a good mortgage person, because if they just call, like, name your big online lender here, they call them, that person's not going to hold their hand all the
No.
way through the process.
They're 9 to 5. They don't care.
No.
You're a number in a piece of paper. That's it. So
Yeah, and I mean it's so important to have somebody who's representing you, and
Yep.
you know I tell the first time home buyers I have like a spiel that I go through every time,
Mm-hmm.
and it's kind of I've been doing this long enough to where I've said the same thing over and over and over again,
Yep.
and I'm tired of hearing myself say it, but this person's hearing it for the first time.
Yep.
So you have to give it to
Yep.
them just like you
You gotta.
would.
It's basically a script that you memorized,
100%.
and that you just go through the same script over and over
Yeah,
again.
and it's not that I think that person a number to me. It's that I want to make sure I hit each point
Yep.
that I talk about with each person
Yeah.
because I think that's important. And because there's so many times where you're like, your dad said what? Like my dad said I should be looking for this. My mom said I should be my aunt, my
The
uncle.
dads or the uncles. Yeah.
Yeah, and
Yep.
and how many times do they steer them wrong?
Yeah. 95% of the time.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's crazy. And you can tell them up front, like, hey, I know your dad's going to be involved, but just so you know, like,
Yep.
I'm the real estate agent.
Yeah.
You know, like I'm the one with the license.
Yep.
And it's nothing against your
We
dad.
do it every day.
Yeah.
Yeah, your dad might know, but he bought 30 years ago.
Exactly.
So times changed. so-
Exactly. I mean, if we were talking about interest rates when your dad bought, we'd be talking about 15, 16%. So we're lucky we're in the sixes here.
Yeah,
and
sixes
or
seem good.
fives,
Yeah.
You know?
So
Well, cool. I do want to wrap this up by asking you a simple question. You know, you've been in the business a long time. You've worked with a lot of different lenders. When you think of a good lender, what's the first thing that comes to your mind? Like, for example, like rate, communication, connectability, you know, whatever it is. What's the first thing when you think of a good lender? What does a good lender do?
probably the communication, the teaching of like the first time home buyers or even people that haven't bought for a while. But being available is the biggest thing that I see that people don't do. Like 95% of the time we're out showing houses on the weekend. So if you're using a lender that doesn't work weekends, it makes it very hard for highest and best on Sunday
Yep.
when you need to scramble and get a updated pre-approval. So working with a lender that is available basically 7 days a week
Yeah.
on weird hours definitely benefit you if you're going to buy. So
If the saying goes, the best ability is availability.
yeah,
And
so
that's really it.
that's it. And like the follow-up portion, like if you have credit issues or whatever, a lot of people just drop the ball and let them go, and like give them a chance. Like
Yeah.
I would say is a lot of the times where the bigger banks, they don't care, like they're the number or whatever.
Yeah.
Like they're not going to do that. But the smaller lenders or smaller teams, they're going to keep following up because it's another drip or another transaction eventually. You know what I mean? So it's I would say that's your biggest thing is like
Yeah, I mean,
the proactive mortgage company, I would say.
the credit issue, when you have somebody who has bad credit, it's not because they wanted to have bad credit.
No,
Something happened in their
something
life.
happened,
They
yeah.
need a little bit of help. You're supposed to give it to them.
You're
and
there for
then-
guidance.
Yeah, exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. You're paid to help guide them. You don't get paid up front. You get paid when
Yeah.
they buy the house, but when they end up buying the house,
Yeah.
that's going to be your biggest champion. They're going to send you all their friends and family because you took the time to help them,
Yep.
and it's one of the most gratifying closings that you'll have.
For sure. It definitely helping people out is a cool feeling. So
Yeah, we have a good job.
yeah, it's very, very rewarding when you finally get to the closing table and you can shake hands and give hugs and take the pictures and
Bottle of champagne that
yeah,
you guys give.
all that
and-
stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Well, cool. Thanks, John, for coming on here.
you
And
for
this has
having
been the Mortgage Celebrities Studio. So we look forward to having John back very soon. And thank you, guys.
thank you.